Hello everyone, welcome to the second tutorial of our masterclass. In this tutorial, we will see how variable works in RStudio and what are the data types. Okay, so this RStudio. So at first we will open the RStudio, and inside RStudio, this is our code script. This is our console. This is our data environment, and in this section we will see about different plots, packages, help, and etc. And if you have not seen my first video on setting up the RStudio, it's around, it will be on the upright section as a card. You can click on there and see the video first. Okay, now for the variable part, so inside this R script, so this R script is generally like a calculator. So if you type 5 and run this line of code, it will show you 5. But if you type A and run this line of code, it will show an error, because without any quotation mark, R will read this line of code as an object, and with this quotation, with this double quotation, R will read this object as read this line as a character variable, as a character value. So here I run this code A, and it is showing us the A alphabet. So now how the variable works. So suppose X is a variable and you have to assign different values inside of it. So you can use the equals to sign to assign values, or you can use this assign operator to assign values inside it. So suppose you want to X is 1, you can type like that. Suppose Y is 2, you can assign it like that. And suppose you now want the summation between X, summation of X Y. So just type X plus Y. It will show no error, because X is already an object, Y is also already an object. So and the sum and the plus sign is will do its work. So if we run this line of code here, see in the console it will show us the 3. So suppose you have multiple values in a variable, so you have to use this concatenate function. Okay, and after in the concatenate function you have to input the different values 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, so see, X is a numeric variable with 5 observations, okay, or 5 values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again the C, suppose 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and run this line of code. Here again Y is another object, a numeric object, which has 5 observation 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if we run X plus Y now, what do you think what will happen? Let's just run it. So I ran X plus Y now, so it is showing us the sum object. Okay, so suppose it is Z. So what is happening here? So it is just just summation of the first component of each of these object X and Y, and the sum is here. So 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 4 is 7, and so on. 5 plus 6 is 11. And so this is very simple. So you have to keep these things in mind. Okay, now suppose you want a character variable. So how to insert a character variable? Okay, so suppose Z is a character variable. Okay, and you have to input your character using this double quotation sign. So suppose mango. Okay, so see, Z is an object, and inside the object the value is mango, character value. So and suppose you have multiple values, multiple character values. So just use the concatenate function again. Mango, orange, mandarin. Okay, so see, Z is now a character variable with the 3 values, 3 character values: mango, orange, and mandarin. Okay, and we actually cannot do X plus Z. Let's try X plus Z. So see, x plus z will not work because there these two objects are different type of object. Like x is a numeric of type data type and z is a character data type. Okay, there is one more data type which is a factor data type. So when we will use a factor, suppose we have a variable named gender, and gender has two values, male and female. Okay, so when we are analyzing things, we actually cannot use this type of variable as a character. We have to use this type of variable as a factor variable. So what I mean by this type of variable, that in a large data set, there will be a section. Okay, let me open a Excel data set. Okay, quickly. Where is Excel? Okay, here it is. So suppose in a large data set, it will be like this: that gender and suppose expense. Okay, and here it will be male, female, male, and female, and so on. You can guess, and expense, and there will be different numbers of expense. Okay. Okay, now when we are analyzing this type of data set, we have to distinguish the groups. Okay, and to distinguish the group, we have to use these factor variables, so that the factor variable will show that this gender variable has two groups, and the name of the two groups are male and female, and we cannot actually work in this RStudio keeping them as a character variable. We have to transform the character variable into a factor variable, and to transform a gender variable into a character variable, we have to use as.factor function. So gender as.factor and type the gender. So it will transform this already gender. It will transform the already gender variable into a factor variable. So see, I run this line of code and it is showing us here factor with two levels, male and female. But there is a complexity here. It actually labeled male as 2 and female as 1. So how it labeled male as 2 and female as 1? It's just alphabetical order. So F is earlier than M. So that is why F is 1, female is 1, and male is 2. And suppose you might face different situation that you have to um that your male variable has to be 1 and your female variable has to be 2. So this is kind of in-depth. To explain this, we have to go in-depth, but I'm not going in-depth in this tutorial. I will talk about this in the later tutorial when we are actually doing analysis. Okay, where when we are actually doing analysis with a specific data set. Okay, so this is how you can transform character data type to factor data type. So suppose you want to transform factor data type to character data type, so you have to just type gender and s dot character gender. Okay, and suppose you have to transform this numeric data set into a integer data set, so x s dot integer x. So x, so it will be numeric to integer. So what is the difference between integer and numeric? New integer will only contain distinct values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 55, 100, 200, like this. And numeric can contain double values. By double values, I mean values with decimals, like 55.63, 22.83, like that. Okay, so when we, okay, suppose we have a numeric variable, it has 4.5, 2.32, 1. 1.85. Okay, so it is a numeric variable. So what will happen if we transform into a integer variable? Let's try. So suppose z and s dot integer y. So what will happen, that it will that this variable will transform into a integer variable and will replace the z. Okay, we will run this line. So see, 4.5 became 4, 2.32 became 2, and 1.85 became 1. So this is the difference between numeric and integer. And yeah, exactly like this, you can transform your different data type into another kind of data type: integer to numeric, numeric to integer, integer to factor, factor to character, character to factor, and so on. So, and there are one more type of data type, which is date. And date is kind of complex, a little complex, not too complex, and I will talk about the date variables in the upcoming tutorials when we will analyze real data sets. Okay, so thank you for hopping in. I really appreciate it. If you find this kind of video really helpful for you, uh, please make sure to tap on the like and subscribe. Thank you.